Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Kharak Cup 7. We're going to continue and actually today finish round 3 of the qualifier section. It's going to be between Tarnarmour playing as random and FrostyTeeth playing as coalition. I'd have to say this game probably goes in Tarnarmour's favor, but it's always a bit of a question. So it should be pretty exciting. The map is the Shallows. So we should see just more of a macro game from both players, but I mean Tarnarmour's literally playing as random. You never know what's going to happen. He's going to get Soban here. So, look at FrostyTeeth up here in the north, playing as coalition. Really early LAV fabrication from Tarnarmour, nothing yet from FrostyTeeth. Both players, I believe, retaining their base runnerness, at least it looks like it. This one here, not totally sure how to get away from the carrier, as is pretty typical. Dude, just go forward. They have a lot of trouble with that on this map. I've definitely noticed that much. Early probe gonna get sent off here by FrostyTeeth. That makes a lot of sense to me. And yeah, Tarnarmour's figured out his base runner situations. That's nice. But yeah, he wants to see, you know, what faction is my opponent exactly. This doesn't want to get caught off guard by anything, of course. And that makes a lot of sense to me. And you know, I gotta figure, like, if you don't know what your opponent is doing on a particular map, like, if it's the Shallows, I think, you know, probably the safest thing to do, that would basically work no matter what your opponent is, just like a very simple sort of macro opener, probably support cruiser first. And sure enough, that is what we're seeing here. So I think FrostyTeeth has picked a pretty good strategy here. He did lose that probe, but that's definitely excusable. And I think normally we would go for 2 salvagers before we make the support cruiser, but there's definitely like some... Oh yeah, I guess moving your carrier... I don't know, I'm not really sure like if you should make the salvagers first or not. I don't really play coalition enough to really know such things particularly well. All I know is in 3v3s when I want my economy to just boom like crazy fast, and that probe taking some damage by the base runner, it's a bit sloppy, but anyway, if I want my economy to boom like super fast, I'll make like 2 salvagers and then the support cruiser, but not sure if one of them is better than the other. Well, Tarnarmour going to be making his support cruiser after the salvagers here, so we'll have to see, I guess, which one fares better. I'm getting messages on my phone. Let me just turn this off. Alright. But yeah, both players getting onto 2 bases very quickly here. FrostyTeeth onto AAV fabrication. And Tarnarmour here has made a couple of LAVs, which would be really nice to shoot down this probe, I think, but I don't really see what other use he's getting out of them. And not that they can't get any use, it's just that he hasn't really done anything with them. So I'd love to see him be a bit more active with these, and sure enough, they're going to move out there. That's nice. But yeah, I always think, you know, like, there's not really too much advantage in making early game units unless you're going to use them. So he's going for railgun fabrication right off the bat. LAV railgun would be really nice against AAVs right here. He can't obviously know that, though. He could now see it if he comes by this carrier, that the AAV thing is opening up. You see them opening up right there in the back. He could now see that with his probe, but in fact we turn off reveal all. Yeah, he's getting intermittent vision of the carrier, so maybe he can see that. Hard to say though. But yeah, railgun's finishing for him just now. Railgun fabrication, of course, going to open up that one right there. But yeah, both players just basically building up right here. First a little initial scuffle going down as these LAVs start plinking into this base runner right here. Probably not going to be able to kill this one before it extracts, I wouldn't have thought so anyway. Oh, I guess coalition base runners are actually slower than Gaussian ones when they have an artifact in. Because I knew that they were slower in general, but I thought they both moved at 47 when they have an artifact, but it looks like he moves at 43. Frosty going to throw off the probe at the last minute. I really like that move, actually. That's something I think everyone should do most of the time anyway when you have your base runner getting killed there, because that probe is so valuable, of course. But then it's really important to keep that probe alive, so we'll see if he's able to do that. But his base runner will go down. It's a nice little pickup for Tarnarmour, but shouldn't be too impactful in the game. And Tarnarmour's probe has seen these AAVs, so he certainly knows now. Looks like he wants to kind of close in on this probe here, and I really like that. This probe's definitely not going to get out, I wouldn't think, anyway. Yeah, getting hunted by these LAVs, it will go down. That's a really nice, you know, encirclement of that probe there, but I think it did manage to catch sight of that railgun. I wasn't paying it the best attention, but I'm pretty sure he did see that, so. And Tarnarmour already has gotten armor 2 on these? Oh, wow. Tarnarmour, am I right? Anyway, he's also getting the assault pack, I noticed, so definitely investing pretty heavily into these upgrades for those units there. Railguns are in the area to punish these two AAVs, although he doesn't want to be so close, I don't think. Smoke thrown in a bit of a questionable position, going to allow another shot to fire on that AAV, but they will be safe and they're going to run off. Going to try to intercept this base runner, and it definitely seems rather unsupported to me. This thing could throw down a targeting jammer and probably escape. But I don't know, there's railguns so close, maybe they just need to come in closer. And yeah, targeting jammer goes down actually. Not in a terrible position, but it was not covering them, so they were able to shoot it before they got into it. But that's okay, it still managed to repel them. I think that's because FrostyTeeth saw this force coming in here, so... That is fine, I think. I always want to say that the targeting jammer does something really cool, like, yeah, look at that, it totally turned the tide of battle. It rarely does. It's not really the best ability, but sometimes it can be incredible. But I always wish it did a bit more than it does, you know what I mean? Anyway, Tarnarmour here definitely recognizing he can be on the attack now. His LAV is definitely going to be superior. There's only armor 1 on FrostyTeeth there. And so as you can see, he's definitely taking this fight quite nicely. He could have put some damage on this carrier, I think. That would have been better. You know, railguns are kind of dumb. They target the wrong unit. If you just tell them to, like, attack whatever they want to, they'll always go for, like, small units like salvagers and LAVs, and you're like, dude, what the heck? But, yeah, a little bit of damage could have been done to the carrier there, but that's probably a small deal. Saban railguns, of course, being surprisingly good at hitting ground units. I always feel like they are. Maybe it's just me, though. I don't know. Frosty throwing down some good smokes here, actually, to block off the railguns. Going to allow him to get a lot more damage on this base runner than he otherwise would. And that thing is so damaged now that... Oh, look at that targeting jammer. But see, that one I don't think really did anything, because they were already out of range of everything else. Those are pretty expensive. What is it? 150? Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. But I think the AAVs did a really good job there of damaging this base runner so much that he can't really extract until he heals it up, and he doesn't want to move it all the way back there, heal it, and then come out again. It's just going to be a real chore. By the way, these guys not actually harvesting. But yeah, I think FrostyTeeth has been doing a very good job holding the extraction zone here. Just kind of forcing Tarnarmour's forces to be in multiple locations, you know what I mean? Whoa, 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 hold up now. This deserves our attention. I know there's action going on over there, but this deserves our attention. Anyway, not sure why that always happens, but it's very fun. I hope EBI never fixes that. Salvagers starting to get taken out in the main base here, and these are damage 1 LAVs, so they're making pretty quick work of these salvagers. Not as quick as they could be, of course, with damage 2, but that's totally fine. 2 of them went down in total, and I think the rest of the LAVs will get killed by this pretty nice carrier block here. There's also an AAV in the area, but still, that's excellent damage. And look at that, actually 2 of them managing to get out by using the boost there. So that's some really significant eco damage being done here. Railgun's finally going to catch out these AAVs, but I think Frosty, with the perfect timing here, is going to be able to capitalize. He really needs to move in with this force here, and he is going to. Does he have the boost? No, he doesn't. The boost would have been really nice here, of course. And actually, now that I say that, you know, Tarnarmour's LAVs... Oh, and the targeting jammer! Look at... Okay, that one is very good. You must admit. I'd love to see also some marked target come out on these railguns here, but dang. So, I mean, you know, that's pretty typical when you're playing against Saban, right? You're like, look, I've caught him out of position, and then it's like, oh, actually, no, he's perfectly in position. Of course. Excuse me. Damage 2 coming down on these LAVs. These guys still doing nothing. Freaking lazy. And actually, that kind of counterbalances the eco damage that he did to FrostyTeeth, but I still think, if you look at the armies that are on the field, this artifact is definitely going to extract now. Railguns are definitely going to be able to beat these railguns from his opponent, although he does have armor 2, does FrostyTeeth, but neither player actually getting the mag accelerator just yet either. And his LAV is definitely superior to his opponents. I really think he just has the commanding army right now. And look, he's even harvesting now. He just needs to make a support cruiser and he'll be done. But yeah, I think he's in a commanding position. It's just, it could be a little bit better if he'd been a bit more careful with his units and such. Like, or with his economy, that is. We got a little railgun fight coming here, but you gotta imagine that's gonna go the way of the Saban player. Right now they're trading 1-for-1, but the fire rate should kick in. Not if they're targeting the wrong units, though. Like I said, these railguns, man, they always like to target the wrong units. But the LAVs are in the area. AAV getting killed by the railguns there, so the LAVs should have kind of a field day over here. Yeah, and so that definitely is going to go the way of Tarnarmour, and basically that's an entire army wipe from him. What have we got left at home then? Well, fighter and gunship fabrication coming out, and that's really not a bad move at all, I don't think. And he's got the resources. Yeah, he's got the resources to make quite a few strike fires as well. Only one AAV though in that area. So I mean, I really think that there's a lot of momentum Tarnarmour has right now. And he probably recognizes that, and that's how railgun fights often go, you know, is that suddenly you just, like, destroy their entire army. He even tried to put down an ALM, but his carrier just kind of derped out and didn't do it, I guess, but that would have been pretty nice to see as well. But yeah, he definitely has that momentum. He can come in and do some damage now. He probably would be able to get a support cruiser off of this if he attacks correctly. Kind of getting spooked by this base runner, though. I mean, I feel like you ought to know your opponent either has no army or an army small enough that you can now take advantage. Well, never mind, actually. Maybe he's totally fine with this. He can put down AAV turrets, well, he can't just yet, I guess, but this one can. And he has a missile battery over it, and look at that, he's actually queued up an AA turret right there. Tarnarmour, he's really on top of it this game, you know what I mean? He seems to recognize everything that he needs to be doing, although this guy should probably be a bit closer to the front line. And the air unit's going to launch, so he's definitely going to feel very validated about this. Like, I was right, I knew it. And look at that, the LAV is actually managing to take one, almost two, just as they pass by, just because they were not actually set to target anything just there. This is so bunched up, though. Come on, Frosty, you got to attack this right here. Missile battery's starting to get good hits in, but they're going after the LAVs. Look at this! Look! Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. That's so much damage that you can do there as they're all bunched up. Oh! 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 But this is definitely going to be a bit of a messy air transition. 3 units getting lost already. So 3 air units were lost there, as opposed to, like, I don't know, probably 3 railguns or something like that. I think that still favors Tarnarmour, but definitely kind of takes a bit of the momentum out of his swing there. He can't just push forward anymore. But with triple missile battery coming out here, and now they're going to almost certainly move up to the front line, I definitely think he can. He should be fine, actually. Has he researched anything else? No, he's just now making the support cruiser for his 3rd base. I still think that's a little funny. Probably should have gotten that a bit earlier, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think he's got this one. Support cruiser anti-air still not finished for either player. Tarnarmour should probably just go ahead and get that, just because you never want those to get sniped late on. And then, you know, you have such a powerful unit that can heal your army and can do anti-air for you. Yeah, I think support cruiser anti-air would be a good move here. But definitely mag accelerator should have been researched a while ago, I think. I do notice, however, he's gotten AAV fabrication, and there's 1 or 2 out on the field, but most importantly, he's gotten all the upgrades for it, too. So these railguns are on 3 armor now, which is really significant. I think that's going to play a big factor later on. Also very significant is the fact that he has scored 4 artifacts here. FrostyTeeth, fortunately for him, managed to pick that one up, so Tarnarmour was not able to grab that one, otherwise I think he would have just won the game right here. But there's no way he's going to be able to extract. Field control definitely in Tarnarmour's favor right here, but starting to build up a bit of a bigger army here. He's got like 7 railguns, it looks like. The support crews are moving, probably just a misclick, probably just wants to put that guy back. And his carrier actually starting to move out too, which is a little odd. Especially because there's no support cruiser to hold the base back there. Still not near cruise missile level power reserves. If he was, I would think that maybe this is like a power play. He's going to come in and try to get back into the game, which is what you want to do. And that's also why I don't like the way that Tarnarmour's kind of giving him a lot of time here. But he doesn't have, you know, cruise missile power levels, so don't know how well this is going to work for him. By the way, Tarnarmour's starting to fall a bit behind in the railgun count. You can see he's getting more railguns now. And he's going for support cruiser anti-air. Like I said, I think that's a very nice move. And in fact, oh no, that guy had just gotten sundered. It's 8 to 10. So I think they both have armor 3. No, actually FrostyTeeth only has armor 2. You should probably get armor 3 for those railguns, because if it comes down to a railgun fight, you're going to want all those upgrades. And Tarnarmour is getting them. He's getting mag accelerator. He already got armor 3. FrostyTeeth seems to be prioritizing carrier power a bit more, but I'm not sure exactly what it's going to do for him. With range 4 in the carrier, he definitely is going to be able to contribute to that railgun fight, but I don't know. I just think that the railgun upgrades are going to be a bit more important. And kind of coming in piecemeal here too, as this probe is doing very good spotting for him, as well as an anti-air turret post. Actually, anti-air turret posts have no vision, never mind. But probe doing a really good job spotting for FrostyTeeth, and he's able, Tarnarmour is able to, or sorry, spotting for Tarnarmour. He's able to pick off quite a few railguns before the carrier even gets here. And now the carrier's taking a lot of damage. He probably just needs to back out of there, put the power into the armor and get out. And meanwhile, there's a backstab of LAVs here. And he is probably going to pick up a support cruiser if he just targets that. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to save. Well, actually, FrostyTeeth has smokes. He needs to smoke that thing in, but probably his attention being split over multiple fronts here. And he's launching the air units, but there's a lot of anti-air in the area. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to kill these. I don't think he's going to be able to kill these railguns. I think his carrier is definitely going to go down here. He recognizes it and he puts power into the armor, but way too late, I think. Oh, but Tarnarmour is targeting the army now. You just click on this thing, man. Click on it. Click on it. Oh, but now it's over a hill. Dang it. Oh, that's real unfortunate. That's real unfortunate. But still, I think this represents once again an entire army wipe. Or these. Actually, there are railguns up here. Targeting jammer. Targeting jammer. It'd be sick. That's the ALM. Put a targeting jammer on and stun lock them in the targeting jammer. Anyway, like I was saying, I think this represents basically, you know, an entire army wipe again from Tarnarmour. 2 artifacts picked up by him, and he has the momentum now. I mean, look how many railguns this is. Like, not actually that many, but definitely more than his opponent has got. Those 2 railguns couldn't leave, so they got picked off over there. Oh, I didn't see what picked off this base runner here. Probably just the LAVs and such. But it only takes 1, and I don't know if FrostyTeeth's gonna be able to stop it. He launched into a whole bunch of anti-air right there, so there's only 1. He has a cruise missile, really. Oh my gosh! Move! Get out of there! Get out of there! Go! Okay, no, the base runner is still alive. So Tarnarmour should be able to extract that base runner. Then I don't think he'll run into too much trouble there. He just needs a couple of railguns to deal with these AAVs, and he should be able to close the game off that way. And that's actually kind of nice in a way, because it means you know that the cruise missile is not going to get launched against the base runner. But still, it's got to be so annoying. Cruise missiles, man, I feel like that's all they ever do. Definitely their most outspoken critic, aren't they? Air unit is getting launched here, and I think he probably wants to go after this base runner, but there's an anti-air turret post already. ALM, fortunately, doing some nice spotting for Tarnarmour. Shows him that these AAVs are in that pass, so he knows what he needs to do to clear him out. He's sending the railguns over there, and I don't know if FrostyTeeth is going to be able to stop this, really. In fact, one thing I'd like Tarnarmour to do is just put down even another anti-air turret post, just because that's the only way that he could conceivably kill this thing, you know? Oh my gosh, stupid railgun. There you go. They love targeting the wrong thing, you know what I mean? It's very silly. But yeah, I feel like the only way he could lose the Space Runner now is, like, to air. So, yep, there you go. He's going to put it down. So he definitely understands that as well. Even another missile battery coming out here. And I think FrostyTeeth, there's no way he's going to stop this extraction. And even if he could, he's probably in a position where he'll get carrier sniped at some point eventually. So yeah, I think the game has got to be in the bag for Tarnarmour now. But it's pretty exciting. And I like how FrostyTeeth, you know, like the moves that he made were clearly designed with the idea in mind of like, well, I'm going to lose if I play a straight fight here. I need to do something special and try to take my opponent out. I don't know if it was ever going to work, but I mean, it's worth a try. I feel like that's kind of the only thing you can do in that situation. What? No! 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 I hate cruise missiles. I really do. Oh my gosh. That's just jank, man. Alright, well. Ugh. Makes me cringe. Well, I feel like once that has happened, you can feel okay about using your own cruise missiles, so Tarnarmour should probably start researching his his power reserves as well. He's definitely got the superior army now, though. And I think, you know, I mean, look at the eco damage that he's doing already. Eventually, he's just going to starve his opponent out here. It's just a logistical nightmare for FrostyTeeth, and that's going to be really effective. Ooh, these guys are on hold position. You got to. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, look at the damage. Oof. Yeah, never do hold position on your strike craft unless there's a good reason to. That'll hit you really hard. Another artifact scores for FrostyTeeth, and I gotta say, at this point his carrier starts looking really deadly, especially with Power Reserve 6 on the way. So that should no longer be discounted, and the cruise missile, frustratingly, is almost ready to fire again. But the eco behind it is just not there. I don't know what his resources are. Yeah, he doesn't even have enough to fire the cruise missile. And it's questionable if he's going to get it soon. Oh, my boy. You want to be there? Yeah, there you go. It's questionable if he's going to be getting there soon anyway. But he does have quite a lot of power in that thing. So that could be really deadly. Looks like Tarnarmour, though, he wants to abandon all of this area and just say, all I need to do is just get this base runner here, so that's all I'm going to do. And I think the best move, obviously, is to pick up another artifact there so that he can't just get cruise missiled. And then to keep the army kind of away from those base runners as if they're, like, on quarantine or something, because you know that's the target for the cruise missile, right? Yeah, I'd really like to see him pick that artifact up right there. FrostyTeeth definitely mobilizing to counter this. And he's got the money now for a cruise missile, but this has got to be his last one. I think just another little run-by of LAVs, and he'll just tank Frosty's economy here. He might lose his own, too, to be fair. I mean, I think these guys are going to get killed over here. Oh my gosh, he's going to try to take this base. I didn't even think about that. He totally can. But yeah, this base runner here needs to pick up an artifact and go, because the cruise missile is going to come down on that base runner almost certainly, right? An assault cruiser's been lost? Wait, what? No, you can't do that. Yeah, that air unit trying to come in and take out the... Oh no, the run-by of LAVs. Oh. Oh. And then the cruise missile too, so even if the cruise missile doesn't manage to get the kill, which sometimes happens, but that's going to be dead on. Yes, that's why I was saying he needs to pick up a second artifact here, just in case. But the economy for Frosty is wiped, and Tarnarmour has the money to make another one. So I think he ought to make like a sport cruiser and some salvagers and just get on these bases right here. Just because, like, why not, you know what I mean? You have an economy and you know your opponent doesn't, you might as well capitalize on that. And actually Frosty picks up this artifact. Oh man, so annoying. And now Tarnarmour needs to run off in this direction. He can get that one, it's going to spawn really soon, but he's also got nothing to defend it, really. So, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Ah, cruise missiles, am I right? Tarnarmour seems he's going to forgo economy, but he doesn't have enough money to fire the microwave emitter, so I'm not sure why he's doing that. I think it would be a much better move here to get an economy set up. You know your opponent hasn't got the CUs for this, so you can take him now in a straight fight. So what you need to do, I think, is just get an economy set up and then have a straight fight, rather than this where you could potentially lose the railguns and then the fight would basically be lost. Basically, if you're in Tarnarmour's scenario, you want to delay the end game, is what I'm saying. The end game, of course, being where no one has any money left. If that happens in Tarnarmour's position, you're kind of at a disadvantage because the opponent has the better carrier. And that unit, of course, is very much replenishable. Oh, these mortars are going to be really good. Ouch. And yeah, actually in this case, FrostyTeeth is going to lose it right here, I think, because he wasn't target firing those railguns with his carrier. And so Tarnarmour makes the Soban carrier look actually decent by using it to body block the Coalition carrier. But anyway, in this kind of scenario, you tend... Oh yeah, and look at that, mark target even coming down here, which is kind of what he wasn't doing earlier on, so... Nice moves there. But yeah, in this kind of scenario, what you really want to do is avoid getting into the endgame if you're the player with the superior army. Because once you get into the endgame and the army is not replenishable, that actually becomes much less of an advantage. And you'll find that often you have some trouble fighting enemy carriers who are able to like do damage and then retreat and just heal up with no cost. So I think that actually was like probably a scenario where he should have gotten some more economy set up just over on this side. But hey, he won, so I mean, he did fine. Yeah, so that's the end, actually, of the qualifier section. Now, because we had 5 contestants in this tournament, what we decided to do was advance 4 of them. And Battlefy just automatically will tell us like who the winners are of the qualifier section. In this case, it was a bit interesting because there was actually like a straight tie between FrostyTeeth and Starlancer. And in that case, you know, you'd look at their opponent win rate and see like who fought the harder opponents. But actually, that was also a tie. So, so it was kind of questionable, like, you know, who should be the guy who's like actually advancing here then. Battlefy said it should have been FrostyTeeth, and I kind of suspect it was alphabetical. So he was like, hold up now, that don't make no sense. So we contacted Starlancer and said, hey, you could come and do like a tiebreaker with FrostyTeeth, but he chose to not to do that, so we just went ahead and moved FrostyTeeth into the elimination bracket. I should have some time to cast some of those as well, so I'll just jump into that right now if I can. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the game, and I'll see you next time.